trying it again, and this time I'm got the second screen up, so we'll see if we have audio. Can I get a thumbs up from anyone? Discussion. Thumbs up from anyone? Can't even find my own video. I suck. Still checking. Okay, there we are. All right, good. Cutting out of that, and we're back. We're live this time, really, for real. I think the problem was I plugged my microphone and headset in after I had already clicked on the go live. Anyway, I get a chance to speak better words this time and not say so much and fumble through the stuff. All right, this is a general 20 books update. Michael is still in Germany. My special guest is at a conference right now, so she won't be able to join us until maybe next week, and we'll see what we can do about building an audience. Building an audience is her specialty, and it'll be part of the self-marketing. Thanks for everybody being so patient. I wondered what I shut everything down because of bandwidth, so I wasn't getting any kind of interaction. I don't see any comments as they're popping up, which is a little bit annoying. I'm not sure what that is on why I can't see comments. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, 20 book pack. The 20 book pack, we had 55 submissions, and whittling those down, we've got the crack A team. Okay, froze there for a second. We've got the A team working on those, whittling them down to the top 25 to 30 submissions out of 55. It's closed now. It closed as of midnight last night, Pacific time. Hang on, I better check that. Don't want to get lost on with any comments and stuff. Are we good? Okay, we're good. All right. The 55 submissions, a lot of great stuff. They're just the first chapters, but the covers and chapter, we had one submission that the chapter was great. Everybody wanted to read further, but the cover didn't necessarily mesh. So our folks got a hold of the author, and she said, I can see it now. Maybe that's why it's not selling as good as it should be, and got a really quick turnaround and put a great cover on it and said yes. So let's see how that does. So hopefully we've helped one person, if not 20, when this is all done, all said and done. We are going to run that one December 6th through December 20th at 20 Books Vegas. We will talk about our partner who is doing the back end stuff to make sure the upload goes flawlessly, and the buyers can buy it, pay, and then download everything without any issues. That's been a long time in the works to get set up. So we really, really want this to be successful, because that was a lot of work and a lot of background effort to make sure that it could work. So we are going to do a second 20 book pack just to make sure, because we won't have the data yet, but because of the 3-month lag for somebody to take their book out of KU, we really need to get in front. So we will do a second one at least, and that second one will be space opera. I know you're surprised, but it's, hey, I got it. Space opera. And the third one, should the data from the first one be good, and the space opera one will do probably the end of February, and the third one will be something in romance, and that will be the beginning of April. Do not contact me now about romance, because I've got this little thing called 20 Books Vegas in between now for the next 3 weeks that will occupy 100% of my attention span. So yeah, don't ask any other questions about that, because I won't have answers, and I'll just get frustrated when I don't have answers. And we can't have that because saw my doctor 2 weeks ago, had an appointment to make an appointment to then make another appointment. So I've gone through the first 3 steps of that, and the fourth one comes Monday morning when I get a heart monitor installed that will run for 30 days. I have what's called supraventricular tachycardia. So they want to look at that and see how severe it is, whether I'll need a beta blockers or a pacemaker or who knows what. A doctor friend of mine who we went to high school together, he said you'll probably need a pacemaker, and of course none of that is final because I have to see a cardiologist after I get this data. So 30 days at the conference, I will literally be wired. So if you see bumps under my shirt, it's not nipple rings, it's leads for my super cool recording device thing. Hopefully I can take a shower. If not, well, I'm still coming because Vegas, baby. No one will know, right? I wish I could see comments because I'm sure people are making fun of me, but I'll have that on. So it will catch me at my absolute worst over the next 3 weeks. So as much pressure as can be on me. The I was talking about the 20-book pack, wasn't I? Time. I got about 1,000 words so far on pricing strategies this morning. As I keep adding stuff to it, more stuff comes up, and I want to make sure that the conversation about pricing goes into theory as well as some practical application. I really want to hit the theory so you understand why you would price something that way, and not because I spent 6 months or 6 years of my life writing this thing. None of the readers care, but if you want to get the readers into your book, then you have to do certain things within a marketing perspective. So those conversations, I just want to make people understand that the two are completely separate. One is your artist hat on, loving your art and your baby, and the other one is throwing your baby to the crowds, and they're doing the dance across the hands. So how do you make sure you sell as many books as possible? Through pricing. So I do talk a lot more about marketing than I intended to, but it's critical. It's the key player. If you're selling books at full price, well, that's a lot of marketing. So one book, don't discount one book. Make it at full price. You can discount for very, very specific reasons with an eye towards that bottom line. With one book, you have to get your ROI on it. It's not like a series where you can have a loss leader. If you have a single book, well, you need to make your money on that book. So anyway, those conversations are bumping it up. I'm at 22,000 words. I thought it would only be 20,000, and no, it's not. It's probably going to be about 30,000, maybe even 35,000 words as I add stuff in. I got some cool pictures that hopefully will translate well into the KDP interface. But I'm working on that. 20-book pack, next one, space opera, end of February, then romance, beginning of April, shooting for beginning of April. And then after that, we'll go once a month and then hopefully get up to once a week. I really would like to see the 20-book packs go once a week because the platform, it's giving people an opportunity. And this is in the initial title, my first failed attempt because there was no sound. It was what does 20 books do for you? And this is people think I benefit. I do sell books through here. I do have a affiliate account with SPF for their courses, but there are no better courses than SPF's courses for specifically what they do. SPF 101 for the setup, which is it's going right now. So sign up through the link. I get a few nickels from that. And ads for authors, which is coming, I think, end of November, beginning of December, that the ads for authors course will go live. There is no better course because you have lifetime support. So whenever their BookBub ads change and get updated, you'll get that module or those modules. Facebook ads, you'll get the new modules. Amazon ads, new modules. Everything will be up to date, and you have lifetime support. So it really is what you need to up your game. If you take the whole course, pay attention, and do what they tell you to do, do the exercises and stuff. So those things, I do roll that money back into 20Books, like 20Books Vegas. I think I've made like about $12,000 off my nonfiction books over the last year and a half. Okay, hey, not bad at all, right? Well, 20Books Vegas, I did overspend just a little bit. As long as you define a little bit as $20,000. Okay, I'm covering that. That's no problem. But I'm taking it out of my nonfiction titles and stuff like that. So I've been accused in other forums by certain folks of using 20Books to sell my books and do those things, and it's founded but unfounded, because the truth behind it is no. Running these conferences is not just the time, but also an investment. Michael and I are the only sponsors. So if we need to inject any money into the conference, we do it. We have minimal conference fees. They will go up next year because of the expansion of the show, which that's also some things I've been working on over the last week, is getting our guest speakers for next year. And let's just say your minds will be blown. It's amazing what the 20Books Vegas conference has evolved into. Amazon is bringing 16 people, and it's because of your input that things are changing, such as the 1-year pre-order period, the assetless pre-order, not to be confused with assless chaps, which is something completely different. Assetless pre-orders. So those are because of they keep getting the same questions. For me personally, I want to know KU borrows on my ads. So Amazon ads, because I'm in Kindle Unlimited, it gives me an ACOS based off a retail price. But come on now, retail price. I don't get the retail price, so I can make that conversion. That's no problem. But can you tell me about borrows? I have to interpolate it off rank, but then I keep watching book rank. I don't care about book rank. I care about the sales, because I know that if I'm selling 200, 300 every single day, we're going to keep getting that. That's a good number. If you can carry that through for 7 days straight, then you'll keep getting that love, and it's a fall from grace will be a lot slower than if I sell 1,000 in one day and none the next 5 days. So, but if it's holding steady, well, am I getting the borrows then? I really want to know about those borrows, and I really, really want to know where people stop reading. So if I have 1,000 people borrow my book and 900 of them stop after chapter 3, wouldn't that be incredible information? Because nobody's going to tell you, hey man, chapter 3 turned me off, I'm not reading anymore. But if you get the data, they don't need to tell you. There it is. 900 people stopped at chapter 3. What the hell did I do there? And go back through and look at it with your business hat on, not your artist hat, and say, oh man, okay, I can see how that failed. And now I have my insider team. I have beta readers. I have folks that will tell me, hey, I would stop reading right here if you keep it like this. And I'll look at it and say, yeah, you're right. Let me tweak it. And usually it's not hard. It's like a sentence or two, and you fix it, and people will keep reading. It really doesn't take much for somebody to stop reading, because everybody's TBR pile is massive. They can always go to another book. And if you're book 4 and they stop reading it in the middle of book 4 of a 10-book series, you just lost them for those other 5.5 books over something that was probably easily fixable. So I would love that data. Thank you, Amazon. I will pimp that every time I talk to you about where do they stop reading, and can we get KU borrows as part of Amazon advertising included for part of the data. So the meet and greet, hour and a half isn't going to be enough. We're looking for an alternative space to give them additional time. I'd love to have them standing around for 4 hours as people filtered in and kept hitting them with stuff. Now, a lot of the stuff that we presented to them in the list of questions were things we would like to see, which it's bizarre that they can't comment on it, but they can't, because they can't say this is in development and then never deliver it, because a lot of things they'll develop and it won't play nice with the system, so they'll kill it. And it's better that people don't know that they were working on this than have their heart set on a system that is going to break. So we can keep asking, and that's what we'll do. And that's how you got assetless pre-orders, and that's how you got a 1-year pre-order period, and that's how you got some of the other cool tools that you get to use for your business, but we would like more of them because we know that data is there. So please help us with an interface. We're going to have a couple KDP engineers. These are design team people, but they're not going to be at the meet and greet. They're going to be tooling around and asking questions. And since I know who they are, I can't share that with you, but since I know who they are, I'll be hopefully bending their ear as long as we need to make sure the message is delivered, and in a good way, respectfully. I make a lot of money on Amazon. It would be nice that if we could do just a few extra things, and just to do a little bit better. I'm willing to invest a lot of money with Amazon through their advertising, through other means and ways, and ways that I give them a lot of money. So please, can I get some of that back without actually having to buy stock in Alphabet? Now that's Google, isn't it? Really bums me that I can't see any comments. I have done something wrong that the comments aren't showing up. Anyway, let me dive over here and just see if there's something that I need to answer. Why can't I see? I still should have used Be Live, even for just me. Videos. Fantastic Realms. Let's talk about our anthologies. With Fantastic Realms, it's like the Expanding Universe started because it was one of those things. How do we get into a science fiction anthology? We write science fiction if there aren't any out there. So there are some, but they dialed it in and we couldn't get in. They weren't even open to new authors. So we did the first one, the Expanding Universe 1, and now Expanding Universe 3, we actually had a Nebula finalist, and then Expanding Universe 4, we had another Nebula finalist. So Expanding Universe 5, we have a number of incredible stories. It's I think it's by far the best one yet. It's huge, 720 pages paperback. It's a massive beast. It's over 1,000 pages in KU. So a nice piece of work. And we thought, well, let's expand this. So Fantastic Realms, doing fantasy. Scott King is honchoing that for me. We've had at least 50 entries. I'll be writing my story this week, and then November 24th is the deadline to submit those first 500 words. Just search Fantastic Realms on the 20Books group, and you'll find the criteria to submit for a fantasy story. A short story. It's defined readership exposure, which is what the 20-book pack is about. How do we leverage 35,000 authors, potential authors, to help each other? Because that's you can't count on the folks you see the most often, Michael, me, some of the admins, to carry you. We always say we're not going to carry you. We're willing to provide the exposure, so that's what the Expanding Universe was about. I had, I think, 75 entries for that one, and we dialed it back to like 23. There were 23 final stories that made it. Like 20-book pack, we got to get that back down to 20 stories, but those are some great tales, some good stuff there. And for those 20 and those who submitted, everybody play nice, and let's show the 20-book pack to our folks, our fans, anybody else, and then we'll keep moving on, because someday, the next time, it may be your day. And once somebody's in a 20-book pack with a book, we'll just block it so you can't be in one for say a year, or that book for a year, something like that. I don't know what the rules are yet, because we haven't decided to go forward beyond that second one. But we've invested a lot of time and effort on that infrastructure, so I hope that comes to fruition. I'm pretty confident, Will, that all 20 authors will make $500 to $1,000 each, and get some additional exposure for their books with these other readers who are there. It's a great opportunity. It's us trying to provide a great opportunity. It will be what we make it. Just like anything, any of the collaborative efforts take everybody participating and trying to contact the readers, and writing starts with a great story, and then the presentation and marketing, just making it available and showing people, hey, here's the kind of stuff that's out there. And pretty soon people won't be able to tell the difference between indie and trad pub legacy publishing, just because there won't be a difference, except you might see one book in Barnes and Noble, but you'll see both books elsewhere. So that's Fantastic Realms. I know I just diverted to talk about the conference. Let me check comments here. The Vegas is shaping up. We have some incredible guest speakers coming for next year, or that we're working to get to come next year. Let me see. Okay, there we go. I can see comments, but I hear myself talking too, so I'll have to kill this. So let me cut that off, because it was really annoying, and it was delayed like 5 seconds. So the Vegas, sharing with Amazon. Amazon is there to listen, so please respectfully talk to them and say, hey, here's what I need for my business. Can I get this? If you're looking for something, or here's what happened to me. Can you please? For folks who bring up the issue of, I'm terrified that I might lose my account just out of the blue, they'll explain, and I'll put this in their briefings, that nothing happens out of the blue. It's there's not a robot that goes through and says, I see something, you're out of here. No, everything gets a personal review before anybody gets, and you haven't seen anybody get booted for a while. But and some people have gotten back in after a dialogue with Amazon. So there are a lot of things to be terrified of, and that's not one of them. So please just talk to them, find out what they can do for you, what might be available now that you're not aware of. Like KDP University is pretty extensive. There's a lot of stuff posted over there. If you have the time, take the time and look through their offerings to help you use KDP better. I've asked them to up their presentation. It'll be different than what people saw in NINC. It'll be at a higher level, which that isn't that funny. NINC is all authors who are established, because you have to hit a minimum threshold of sales in order to join NINC, and they're still going to move because the presentation there was a little bit lower level than what the NINC folks were looking for. So they'll do what they can. Shooting for 45 minutes. I have them scheduled for an hour, but hopefully just a 45-minute, and then we'll get a break in between there and their meet and greet, and then we're trying to expand and give them another, hopefully like 4 hours for people to meet and just whip by. Even if they take over the Ram's Head Bar during the day, or Roxy's, which is still out, if we can use that space. It's a nightclub that has open seating, but it's closed during the day. We might be able to sit there during the day, and that might be a great place for people to come in and meet Amazon, because it's a circular sitting area that's off the part of the casino down by the sports bar. So that's a possibility, but we have some other spaces. We'll see if we can work something, because we do need to get them more time, because we need all of our people, hey, stop by and say hi, if nothing else. These folks are interim levels, so they may not have answers. They may not know what needs to be done, but they will take notes. They will write down whatever issue, or add it. Hey, this is the 10th person who talked to me about this issue. So that's what we're trying to. 16 is unprecedented. They've never sent that many to an author conference before. So hooray for 20 books. Here, working for you. Other things for, I don't know. Obviously, the only thing on my mind right now is the show. I'm trying to get pricing strategies done, but still so many details with the show, rooms, getting people squared away, and making sure that rooms I'm paying for, rooms that I've reserved, rooms that have been put in my name that I'm not paying for the whole thing, because that would be quite the bill at the end, and I've already got a big bill. So we don't want another big bill. Little things like that to get under control. Some sidebars, like we are going to have a mixer on the first night right after Mark Dawson's keynote presentation, but that's for industry. That's Michael and I supporting industry, so it's invite only. If you didn't get an invite, don't feel bad. Don't stop by and just invite yourself in. No crashing these parties. Please. I have a private event, another invite only that some other folks have put on their schedule. Please don't. We are going to check names at the door for that one. It's just, and don't feel bad. There's certain things that are only for certain people. We're not keeping secrets. It's just we have different issues to discuss, and it's not for everyone. I mean, I'm not going to the romance mixer 7 to 10 on Tuesday. I think there's 270 people signed up for that one, because that's their thing. That's not my thing. So that's their thing. Please, if you're romance or looking at getting into the romance genre, a great place to go meet, greet, listen to Becca Syme, bend your ear for half hour or so, and it's a 3-hour mix. So we will have some libations in there, some I think decaf coffee, tea, stuff like that. We were going to have brownies, but there was an immediate eruption of people who might be on diets. So no brownies. We got the big kibosh on that. We're going to provide like 1 billion brownies. Do you believe it? 1 billion. So no brownies, but drinks, coffee and tea. So much going on in Vegas. Please keep your nose to the ground with Sked. Sked is my go-to. That's where that has everything in there. So that's going to tell you what you need to know. We'll have a cork board down by the Sam Sound Live. Early check-in is up on the balcony on right by Ponderosa, which overlooks the atrium, and that's only for the early check-in part. That's 3:30 to 5:30, maybe 6 on Monday evening. Independence Hall will be open. There'll be a pay-as-you-go bar in there, as well as a pay-as-you-go bar on the balcony outside of Ponderosa. And then all the rest of the time, check-in will be down at Sam Sound Live. So on Tuesday morning, if you didn't check in on Monday, which is perfectly fine, go down to Sam Sound Live on Tuesday morning, and you'll be good. Everything we're recording, all of the main rooms, Red Rock, Hawthorne, and Sam Sound Live. We've upgraded. We've improved our audio capability. We're not just using an iPad this year. We're using actual HD cameras with better microphones, sitting closer to the presentations, and integrating with the slides. So whoever's recording is able to jump back and forth and show the slide at full resolution and then go back to the speaker. Also, we'll have, I think we have 2/3 of the presentations already. We've got a few more coming. We'll post those as soon as we have the bulk of them. And then you can follow along at home or have them on your iPad, on your desktop, your notebook, whatever computer you bring, or just print them. For ones that you really want to get into, print it and bring the printed copy so you can take notes. So much going on between now and then, but that's what it's all about. It's not about Vegas, but it's about you. And that's we have volunteers and we have Ask Me badges, ribbons. That's all. There are no other ribbons that will come from the show. And you'll wear one or the other or neither. The volunteers, those will all they'll get them when they check in. Ask Me will be sitting there, and that's for people who are willing to answer questions and who've been to a show before. If you're a raging extrovert but you've never been to a show, please don't take an Ask Me badge, Ask Me ribbon, because it's for people who've been to other shows and seen and have some experience with the 20 books and how we work, because it's different than how other people work. Because we don't care about anything going on in your life besides right there doing the show for you as an author. So it's all about you as an author. That's the only thing that matters when you're at the show. It's going to be the most inclusive show you've ever seen, you've ever been to, because nobody cares about anything except what's in here to get what's out here to then go there where somebody buys it. Strangers buying your book. That's the best feeling ever. And that's what we're shooting for. So I'm going to wrap up. And not seeing the comments is really annoying. And I think that's because I did not click on that interactive tab before I went to the live part. Or I could have just used Be Live, not seen who was making the comments, but still seen the comments. So anyway, I'll do better next time, I promise. You guys have a great day. Peace.